Well, hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Rex the Adequate Would-Be Chef. This is the second video that I'm doing after I'm trying to restructure this to be able to get through this cookbook. I'm trying to start towards the front within each chapter and work my way through. So hopefully you just watched me make the leek and potato soup. And today we're actually going into eggs, and this is going to be a poached egg, pardon me. And we're gonna do, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to say this, a Oeufs à la Fondue de Fromage. Oh, I think I got the fromage right. I've been trying to get in a little bit of my Rosetta Stone French. So I think I actually got the fromage. Basically, we're making poached eggs on canapes with a cheese fondue sauce. Now the canapes, and I'm probably not even saying that one right, is really something very simple. We're going to take some, I got some white, basically Italian bread here, and I'm going to cut out the centers with probably like a small wine glass, and then we're going to saute those in butter on each side and basically make a nice good sized crouton. And then what we're going to do is hopefully take that beautifully poached heavenly egg, and we're gonna place it on top of that little hard crouton bed, and then we're gonna take this nice wine, slightly wine flavored cheese sauce with just a hint of garlic, and we're gonna pour that on top of this thing, and we're gonna eat. Now, I may be honest with you, I've never poached an egg. I remember when I was a kid, there was like this little container and you could like put the eggs in it, and it would hold them in place and it supposedly poach them. Of course, she doesn't tell you to do that. So we're gonna just dump them in some water and gently fold the whites over the yolks to make a beautiful egg. So that's what I have planned tonight. I'm getting started late. It's already 7, and I believe we're gonna be here a while. So first thing we're gonna do is start the sauce. Now, it basically bothers me a bit because I'm gonna have to make the sauce but prior to boiling, to poaching my eggs. So if the eggs don't poach, I'm gonna have this hopefully gorgeous sauce on, which I'll maybe just eat like a good cheese soup or just dip my croutons in it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go for the sauce, then we're gonna go with the eggs, and then finish it up probably with the croutons. Now the sauce, as you can see with the ingredients here, is going to be a bit, I believe, time consuming. Because we're basically putting almost 3 cups of fluid, and she says initially to boil it down to 3 to 4 tablespoons. And I've tried to do her sauces in the past, and well, they just generally don't work so well for me. So without any further ado, let's get down to the stove, let's get cooking. And one other thing before I stop here, I haven't cooked any of this before, and that's really my stick here. I don't want to cook these recipes before you watch me cook them. You should be able to go into your kitchen and have no fear. Nobody's going to see you make a mistake. You'll see my mistakes because I want you to realize that you're going to make mistakes in the kitchen, but in the end it generally tastes good. Let's get cooking. So we have a saucepan, approximately 4-quart saucepan for our sauce. Now, first and foremost, you need about a cupful of loving. If you can't put any loving in your food, it's not worth cooking. So we'll have a broth, and that's a 1/4 cup. We have 1.5 cups of white wine. We have 3/4 cup of a dry white vermouth. We have 1 1/4 cup of a whipping cream. We have about 1/2 cup to 2/3 of a cup of Swiss. Now I don't really like Swiss, so I have gone with a baby Swiss. 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 minced clove of garlic, pinch of nutmeg, pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. That's 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and about 1 tablespoon of minced shallot. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cook our shallots in the butter. We're going to cook that for approximately 1 to 2 minutes. We do not want to brown them. After that, I'm going to add in our minced garlic clove, and we're going to cook that for an additional 30 seconds. The heat was just a little bit high, and so I did almost brown them. We'll say we tanned them, and they're not that bad, but I did rapidly turn the heat down. I've started a timer, which if you don't have a good kitchen timer, I just use one that I sometimes use at the gym, and basically you can keep track of your times because we said 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, I got a good cook on those. Let's go ahead and put our garlic in. We're ready to put in our wine, so we're going to put in the wine, the beef stock, and the vermouth. We're going to bring it up to a high boil, and we want to take it down to just 4 tablespoons. This could be a while. Okay, while I'm boiling down the fluids over here, I've been doing some other prep work, getting ready for making the canapes and all the other good stuff. So I have white bread here, and I'm using just a nice wine glass. And let me show you exactly what we're going to do. So what I want to do here, just try to center that as best as I can. Sort of like, I don't know if you've ever made biscuits, but take that off. At this point, you can probably get your scissors, trim them up just a bit. And these might be a little big. You can cut them into triangles or whatever. But there you go. I'm going to do all of them. And there we go. 6 pretty little round napes. Canapes. Whatever. Alright, now that you've cut your rounds, basically you want to clarify butter. In other words, get the milk fat out of it. And we're going to put these when we're ready. We're going to finish up this sauce. But when we're ready, we're going to put them into a skillet with about an eighth of an inch of that clarified butter. And we're just going to slightly brown them on both sides. Okay, the sauce is boiled down. Now, basically, if you look, I measured this. I went ahead and put 4 tablespoons in and sort of got a good bird's eye view of what it's going to look like. And that's pretty much exactly the way we want it to look. Now, I have gone ahead and taken 2 tablespoons of the cream and I mixed it in to start it into the cornstarch. And then I added another half of the remaining half of that whipped cream, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work that into this mixture. And we want to bring that just up to a nice simmer. Now you can go ahead and add in more cream by the spoonfuls to thin it out a bit. We do want it fairly thick, but we don't want it too thick. It should basically coat your spoon nice and heavy, which as you can see, that's a nice heavy coat. Okay, the time's coming up. I got it in a nice, look at that, really nice heavy coat right onto the spoon, exactly what we want. At this point, we're going to stir in that cheese, simmer it in, nice and creamy. Okay, now that we've got that cheese melted in, we're going to go ahead and put in our pinch of nutmeg, salt, and the pepper. I'm going to put in the nutmeg first, and then the pepper. Hold back on the salt, taste it, make sure your seasonings taste right, and then add the salt accordingly. Oh, that looks really, really good. Oh, that's delicious. Once you're done with the sauce, go ahead and turn off your heat. You can just take this, set it aside. It's time to start poaching some eggs. Okay, so I have a pan on the stove that's about 10 inches wide, 2.5 inches deep, and you want about 2 inches of water. I filled the 2 inches of water in. You should put in per quart a tablespoon of white vinegar. And you want to bring this up to a very slight simmer. Now, we're gonna break an egg in straight into the water, and then with my only big ass wooden spoon. I'm going to slowly, for 2 to 3 seconds, I'm going to try to bring the white up over the yolk. If the eggs aren't fresh enough, and it's likely that these may not be, we're going to want to simmer them for about 10 seconds in their shell, and at times that will freshen, firm them up a bit to make this process easier. We'll give it a go the first go around, see how it works, and if not, we may have to go the second method. After you cook them for approximately 4 minutes, we're going to go ahead and take them out with a slotted spoon. You want to touch them. The white should be firm. The yolk should actually still be soft, and you don't want to cook the yolks really. And we're going to put those in a bowl of ice water to immediately get the vinegar off of the egg and also to stop the cooking process. And we're going to do that with all of them. So let's get down to it and see what happens. Now, if you don't feel comfortable of dropping the egg directly into the boiling water, you can open it up and put it onto a saucer and then just let the egg slide in. I'm going to go straight for the boiling water method and see how that works. Now, as you can see, a lot of the egg escaped the process, and I really believe that that's due to the eggs not being fresh enough. I do have a little ball cooking down there, as you can see. We're going to let that cook, and I'll bring it out and see. But I'm not happy that we lost. That's a lot of egg right there. So let's try the other method. I don't think my eggs are fresh enough. Okay, 4 minutes is up. Let's see what it looks like. So just grab a little slotted spoon. We'll pull that right out. Now, that is nice and firm. I can definitely tell that the inside is nice and soft. Let's go ahead, and I got a little bath over here of ice cold water. We'll just plop him right in there. This worked out pretty good. However, we lost a lot of white in the process. I bought these about 4 days ago. Not as fresh as we'd like. So I've washed these with soap and water. I'm going to go to put them in the water for about 10 seconds only, just enough to try to firm that white up inside the shell, and then we'll try it again. Okay, now that we've boiled the eggs for about 10 seconds, let's crack them open. Let's see if we can get a better poach. Well, that one just looks like a ghost. It looks horrible. That will not work. Yeah. And it's really ruined my water. Let's try this again. I'm going to pour my water, put it in, and just went everywhere. So I'm going to try the saucer method maybe, and we're going to put some new water on the stove so you guys can see a better picture. Okay, I think I had a slight problem. Even though she says barely simmering, I don't think I was at simmering. Water boils at 212 degrees. I haven't even hit 187, and I definitely put it in the last time. So actually, I'm going to bring this up to a boil. I'm going to drop it back down to a simmer. I'm going to rerun those eggs through just a bit more because I've already cracked one and it's not firming up that well. And then we're going to try this one more time. Well, actually, till I run out of eggs because I'm hungry and I'd like to eat dinner. Let's see what happens. All right, let's try this again. Now, I didn't use a saucer. I have a handy little dish here I cracked my egg into. I'm actually going to try to roll it right onto that wood spoon and see if I can't get a better pour on this. I have 3 eggs in. I don't want to lose track of them. I think I know first, second, third. I'm not happy with the way these are turning out, but I might keep going and we'll try to perfect this and see what we can do. It's not easy. Okay, I did a couple extra ones. Let's go ahead. One of them's ready to come out. Thought I'd figure out, I'd try to do a couple extras. Let's put that in for just a little bit more. Never hurts to cook a couple extra more, so that if one really is that bad, you can substitute. If you watched Julia or you read her blog, the first one she did were ugly little masses, which are exactly the way mine turned out. But she said the next time she did it, they were nice, beautiful ovals. So as with some of these dishes, sometimes it just takes practice. Bobby Flay wasn't born in a day. They're poached. They're in a water bath. Now these in cold water, they'll keep for several hours. So you can definitely do a lot of this stuff that you've seen, the sauce, the eggs, ahead of time. Because these are really nice little, like almost an hors d'oeuvre or something if you're going to have guests over. So a lot of this that you're watching me, since I'm doing it all at once, yes, it's taking a lot of time, but you can do all of this as prep work and not have to go through the time that I've gone through at one sitting. And they do make egg poachers nowadays. But I think once I get the hang of this, I think it'll be real easy. And again, buy fresh eggs. Find somebody that has a chicken. Listen, you can find them. All right, now we're gonna get the canapes. I've clarified some butter. Like I told you, I burned off the fat, so we just got the nice, beautiful butter here. We're gonna put this in a pan, and we're gonna go ahead and brown these things up, and then we're almost ready to eat. Okay, so I've got my clarified butter in the pan. You only want about 1/8 of an inch thick, and nice good high heat. We're just gonna toss these in, brown on my each side, and fly right through this part, hopefully. And we're gonna start browning those. Okay, we don't want to brown them, we just want them lightly browned. So let's check this out. Oh yeah, look at that, nice and lightly browned. Now that we have the canapes done, we want to go ahead and trim off any excess streamers of our eggs that we did cook, and we're going to warm those up in just some hot salty water for about a minute, and then we're going to be able to begin to prep this dish. Okay, alright, you guys still with me because we're in the home stretch. I did forget to turn on the camera to show what I did. I've taken these and I did take a quick knife and I ran through and cut off any of the little white streamers. I ran them in hot water with salt for 30 seconds just to get them back up to where we want them temperature wise. I think my best one broke. The yolk started to run out and I had to throw that away. So we'll see. And some are, I can tell, firmer than others, but all in all we're doing good. Now I have the oven on broil, so while I'm prepping these we're getting a nice hot broil oven, and we've went ahead and I've trimmed up about 3 tablespoons of more Swiss cheese, and I've melted just a bit more butter because yeah, we're not done with butter just yet. So let's get down to the table and I'm going to show you what the prep work is. So I went ahead and taken a cookie sheet here. We're just going to go ahead and take our little homemade canapes. Woo, doesn't that one look good? This is going to be the sample taster there, obviously. And you just want to space these out and be very gentle. You can see my nice round white eggs. We're going to place these right on top of this little bed that we have made for them. Just like that. And check for firmness. They all feel really good. I left the firmest one in here. So go ahead and take your Swiss cheese that you grated and just go ahead and put that right on top of these little babies, like a little blanket, right? We want to keep them now. We put them in bed. I'm going to give them a blankie. Give them a nice little drink here of some hot, beautiful butter. Just not too much, just enough. That's a tablespoon of butter. I just melted it in the microwave. And that's it. Now we're just going to put these right into the oven on the broil rack, and we just want to brown the top ever so slightly. You don't want to really try to cook the eggs more. Major problem. We just spent an hour making a sauce and I didn't put it on. Luckily they're not in the oven, but the cheese generally goes on top. I think I'm going to actually take the cheese off, put the sauce on, and put the cheese back. Delicious, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we should have a nice soft yolk in the center. Let's see what happens when we cut into this. Oh, that is some really good texture. I haven't been this excited to try a dish in some time. So I've been tasting the cheese sauce off and on, I gotta admit. And so I'm gonna be really mad with myself if I eat all this tonight. That'd be 6 eggs, a lot of crappy cheese, a stick of butter. Let's just see what happens. Oh wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I would have to say, and I wish, you know, words really can't describe the flavors on this. It's very creamy. Those eggs are so fluffy and light. Oops, I might just eat half a dozen eggs tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, my first poached eggs with a beautiful cream sauce, cheesy cream fondue sauce on top. And please take some time and try this recipe. Again, do the croutons ahead of time. You can even do the eggs ahead of time, you know. And you know, I bet the sauce would even keep in the fridge, so if you wanted to do this for the morning and the breakfast, it's good. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Rex, the adequate would-be chef. Don't be afraid to try a recipe. Later, guys. Hey buddy, do you want to try Daddy's poached eggs and fondue cheese sauce? Really? Alright, you worked for it. Tell me what you think. That is called plate licking good.